Today we're going to learn about fires in the Amazon. The Amazon rainforest is really big. It's twice the size of India, and it's home to it's home to 1/4 of the species of plants and animal on the earth. And it's a wonderful place to live, supposedly, because there's a lot of human activity that is actively destroying the Amazon. And especially since the development of the chainsaw in the 1960s, the rainforest has taken major hits to the tree coverage. And that's what we're going to look at here. So specifically, fires and deforestation go hand in hand. As they cut the trees down, they burn the remaining vegetation to make way for agricultural processing and growth. And as you can see here in 2020, there are a lot of fires happening in the Amazon. Every dot is a fire, and the black spaces are where fires are really common. So especially in the southern area of the Amazon and the southwest area. And these fires are not happening in intact forest areas. They're happening in areas that have been encroached upon by humans and that have been degraded. There was 80,000 fires in 2019, and that number has grown in the following years. In 2019, one soccer field of forest was burned every minute, right? And so billions of tons of carbon dioxide have been released from the burning of trees, and we've lost so much from it. And we're going to get more into that next. But before we do, let's look at what is causing these fires, and that's the top row. It ranges from logging activities to weak government to the activities of farmers, and it creates multiple different types of intentional and unintentional fires. And those types of fires can actually feed into each other and kind of cause one another, right? And so why is it important to talk about this? It's important because wildfires damage a lot. They damage human health, they damage biodiversity, and they weaken the entire Amazonian ecosystem. Specifically, wildfires cause thousands of deaths, premature deaths in South America per year. It causes lung disease from the pollution, right? And it can really affect people's lives in the long term, decreasing their quality of life. Also, fires really hurt biodiversity because the Amazon is so diverse in species. As you can see here in this graph, there are dozens, hundreds of species of plants and animals in every acre of the rainforest. And so as fires burn through these acreage, every species is affected. And having a diverse ecosystem, it's a strong ecosystem. It means it can support, a lot of value. And we need to protect biodiversity. And like I mentioned before, fires feed into each other. So as they burn vegetation, they emit greenhouse gases, which warms the environment of the Amazon, which dries things out, which causes more fires. Or another example is that when fires burn off the vegetation, there's less plants, evaporating air into the atmosphere, and so the land is drier, so there's more fires. And this is such a big issue that it is thought that under current conditions, right, the Amazon rainforest may not survive another 30 years, especially in the Brazil area, in the area of Brazil, right? So we're really looking out for what we can do today to prevent long-term damages that have already started in the Amazon, specifically in Brazil, where a lot of this burning and deforestation is occurring. So the reason we're talking about Brazil is because so much of the Amazon rainforest is in Brazil, right? And that means that Brazil has the greatest responsibility to not burn, to not deforest. And even globally, Brazil has 1/3 of the world's rainforest, right? And so looking at Brazil is important, especially about how they're using fire and how their governments have really managed this situation. Brazil has not done a good job in managing their forest. In fact, Brazil is responsible for 3/4 of the rainforest deforestation and fires. And that is really bad because, like I said, they're responsible for so much of the forest. And as you can see, intensive logging, intensive agriculture, small scale agriculture, and the use of fires for agriculture has really damaged the tree cover, especially in the Brazilian Amazon.